and welcome to It Was a Movie. This is Colin.
This is Niall.
This week we watched Bugonia 2025, so heads up, spoiler alert, we don't usually do quite recent movies. We will talk about the plot a lot and the ending a lot.
There's a lot of plot in this, and there may be twists.
There are twists. Now, we were ahead of the game. Back in October 2023, we reviewed Save the Green Planet, and that was just a random movie that popped up and it looked weird, so we said, okay, we'll do it. But I gave it 1.625 out of 5, and you gave it 1.25 out of 5. You've got a better memory. Save the Green Planet, what was it all about? Why did we not like it?
We didn't like it mostly because of some of the directorial choices, specifically at the end, if I remember correctly. It all goes a bit nuts. Now, it all goes a bit nuts in this movie as well, but it gets a bit too comic booky in the... It's like they ran out of budget in the South Korean movie. When people arrive on a spaceship, spoiler alert, it looks awful, it's over the top, and it's silly. It detracted from it. And there was a few moments in that original movie that were absolutely fantastic. Like the torture scenes in it and the acting of the CEO in that was absolutely bang on. But then there was weird directorial choices that really smashed the movie. I think the budget was so low on that movie. It really harmed it. Weirdly, scene by scene, this movie almost matches it exactly. So I guess we can figure out if you throw a load of money at something, does it make it better?
Yeah, I can't remember specifically because it's from 2003, I believe.
Got it,
the original.
those years, they mean a lot in terms of memory.
Yeah. So I can't remember if Save the Green Planet, 2003, so 23 years ago. So yeah, the internet was around, but not a lot. Jesse Plemons' character in this is pretty much Teddy. He's pretty much conspiracy obsessed from the internet, and it's not a really a complicated leap to go from whatever the protagonist or the antagonist did in the first movie to converting it into a 2026, 2025 plot line. So that's not hard for them to do.
It's actually easier. His conspiratorial notions were from magazines and weird underground sort of channels. Nothing, well, very little to do with the internet. Whereas this is, this could be anybody.
Yeah. And today's climate.
Yeah.
I think the acting in this is 100 times better than the Korean one.
Oh, well, yeah, you've got hard hitters. Jesse Plemons is absolutely fantastic, and Emma Stone in this is, like everything else she's in, she is a tour de force when she acts. She is so good. Yeah. Not just, emoting, and how she moves as well is weirdly amazing. Even when she's an alien, it's suddenly she's a different person.
Slathered in anti-histamine.
Yeah, head shaved.
Yeah. So I think Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons are director Yorgos Lanthimos' regular co-creators, I guess. He likes to use them a lot.
Poor Things and The Favourite.
Yeah. The budget was 45 to 55 million. I think it's still it's like 40 million taken in box office. So it's not crazy. I don't know if it went full on theater release. I don't really know, but it might make its money back.
I think it'll just about make its money back. It'll cover the price of everything, and it'll probably cover the price of the advertising it did for it, which I don't think was that heavy. So I think it's more of a piece of art than making loads of cash type movie.
It'll cover the antihistamine cream tubs. There's a lot of it. Interesting choice, and quite a good choice to use a neurodivergent actor, Aidan Delbers, as Dawn.
I thought
you can tell, you can tell from the start. It's not, I didn't know there was an autistic actor in this, and you could tell from the start he's an autistic actor. Basically, he's not just playing an autistic person. Yeah, it was good. It was.
Yeah.
I believe he ad-libbed a couple of times as well when they're having the very tense lunch scene. He was like, "I need to go to the toilet." I think he ad-libbed that one, which was good because it added just a little bit of distraction.
Weirdly, it had me. My mind went to a strange place when he does that, because it brings me to Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with Rupert.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go, can I be excused to go to the toilet? And he stands there and he goes while he's sitting there. Sorry, it was a weird sort of. My mind does weird segues in situations like that, but it's a great scene. It's so there's so much tension, and he's like, "Can I go to the toilet? I really need to go."
Well, I'm trying to think about why I don't love this movie. I haven't graded it yet, and my predictions are I'll give it high for acting, but maybe I don't know. Actually, the soundtrack was good as well. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
it's just a bit muddy at times. I think that's what Save the Green Planet was like. It's a bit muddy.
A bit muddy too. Yes.
Yeah.
I think perhaps its pacing was a little bit slow. That might be dragging you back. The pacing for me was slow. That's my only criticism, because the individual parts of this movie are excellently executed.
But maybe the parts are too minor. I think just thinking of the kidnapping, like you've got a chunk at the start where she's not kidnapped. You've got 90% of the movie where she's kidnapped in the basement, and then 10% resolving everything. That 90% in the middle, the only maybe tense filled scene is when the cop comes along, who's also a good character. I like the way he's played. But if I remember the Save the Green Planet one, that was a bit more tension filled.
There was way more tension in the original, because there was a lot more time spent where the cop was literally standing over a grate while the CEO/alien is downstairs looking up, trying to grab his attention.
Yeah. And you just kind of know.
There was a scene, though, in that as well. Just sorry to jump over you there, but there was a scene in the original one which was fantastic, where the monitor, the baby monitor in this, there was an equivalent in that, an analog of that in this, or in the original, and it's on in the background while he's chatting to the cop, and our guy is looking. He realizes it's still on, and the cop's facing him, and he's kind of trying to turn it off without the cop noticing. It's a great piece of tension. That is just blown away in this. So don't bother with it. He just turns it off. So I think that's missed. They should have kept that bit in, because that was great in the first movie.
Yeah, doesn't he do something with his leg or something?
He turns it over his toe or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember much else from 2.5 years ago from watching it. Yeah, I kind of went on and moved on. I didn't really appreciate the Save the Green Planet movie at all. But anyway, to start off the movie, we get introduced to the Michelle Fuller, the CEO, played by Emma Stone. We have Teddy, Jesse Plemons, and Dawn Aiden Delbus. So Teddy and Dawn are introduced as Teddy more so than Teddy's a sort of his mind is wiped and brainwashed by online stuff, but he's also trying to do that to his neurodivergent brother, and he's not really buying it. Really, he's probably smarter than he is. He kind of gets.
He goes along because he's his only friend, and screw it, I'll keep him happy. He does a lot to keep him happy, unfortunately.
Yeah, but Teddy is just full on, fast paced dialogue, just spewing data and information at everybody that talks to him.
Neurons.
Yeah, so he's chemically castrating each other, putting tinfoil everywhere.
Well, they don't put tinfoil on their hats. They cover the windows in tinfoil, obviously to block the signals, because,
Yeah.
There's no point cutting people's hair to block the signal if you haven't tinfoiled the windows.
Yeah, so they're focusing on, Teddy's focusing on Michelle Fuller, the CEO of a corporate place that he deems to have ruined the world and the bees that he keeps.
CCD, baby. CCT. It was all about the CCD, the colony collapse disorder.
Yeah.
Me blaming our friend Emma for that, which, you know.
Did you have any sympathy for Teddy at the start of the movie? Do you see him as dangerous, sympathetic, or pathetic?
He falls more into the pathetic bucket. Knowing what I know about the ending of the movie, though, and his reasoning and why he does stuff, I have sympathy. But that's because I already come into this movie, unfortunately, forearmed with all this knowledge of how it's going to play out and why he's doing what he's doing. So I do have sympathy. I do remember in the first time round, his analog in Save the Green Planet, I had no sympathy for. I thought he was an absolute psycho with no redeeming qualities until later on in the movie. So, having seen, we're kind of rare because not many people have seen Save the Green Planet.
Yeah.
So I think our take on this movie is slightly different from average public because of that.
And as I was saying to you before he went on air, I don't remember much of it. Did he have somebody with him, or is he on his own?
He did. He had his girlfriend.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
She
Okay, yeah.
she gets an unfortunate ending as well.
Does she?
Well, everybody does when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens to her? I remember now. Yes, and I remember the same thing happened. The CEO was sweet
getting in
talking
her head. Yeah. It doesn't go well.
No. Yeah. But that's the thing about it. If you're watching this the first time, you're kind of going, okay, is this a weird movie where she is an alien? And then you're constantly just up and down with her saying stuff to appease Teddy, and
that
Teddy
part of it,
going nuts.
I adore the is it true, isn't it true? And Emma Stone plays it so bloody good. That's fantastically done, because is she trying to appease him? Is she saying the truth, or is she lying, or is she using part of the truth? I don't know.
Yeah. So they kidnap her, and it's with Jennifer Aniston masks, which is a good touch. And of course, they're not at all strong, and we see her doing martial arts at the start of the movie, so she puts up
kicks
a fight. But
asses.
Yeah.
But one of the lads has a syringe, so they manage to get her, even though she kicked the crap out of them.
Yeah, it's a good scene. I just noticed Danny has a tinfoil hat on.
Was he? Oh. Oh, yeah, he watched it too.
Yes. You should be watching Signs.
Under the stairs with my tinfoil hat on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I finished watching the movie, and I was like, that was a movie.
It was a movie.
Like, not in a bad sense. It was just a movie. It wasn't. I'll probably give it more than I gave to Save the Green Planet. I'll probably give it average, maybe a little bit.
I suspect I like it more than you, but I think where you're coming from on this, maybe that the sum of all parts usually is greater than the individual parts. I think you're going the other direction, because acting's fantastic, cinematics beautiful, he's shot, and I think the direction's quite good as well. But there is a pacing issue, and it slightly detracts from the overall experience.
It just came to my mind, which I can hold as a sort of standard for basement movies. Cloverfield Lane, right? Cloverfield Lane is concise. Lots of shit happens that are really stressful and tension building. Yeah. This is heavy on dialogue, and a lot on Teddy's dialogue, and it keeps on. It feels like it just keeps on repeating for me constantly. And then we sort of get a snippet of Alicia Silverstone, Batgirl, is his mother, and something's happened to her. And then we see this sort of flashback where she's floating into the sky, which is another sort of weird warp of reality. And so then we get this, then that's the angle coming and going, okay, so Teddy's background is with Michelle Fuller's company, who fucked up his mother with drugs, with trial drugs, blah, blah, blah. So that comes into it maybe after the half hour mark or halfway through the movie. kind of marks it in. That's another muddying of the stick of the
Yeah, I think
soup.
your comparison to Cloverfield Lane is an excellent one. I think where these movies differ, though, this is more of a surrealist approach, possibly from the perception of somebody who is not mentally well, because of
Yeah,
those, flashbacks that are from his perspective. He clearly has a lot of issues because of, well, PTSD from what happened to his mother, man, because of her opioid addiction and all that jazz. So he was
yeah,
not a well chap. What I like, and the similarities between those two movies as well, is that both conspiracy nuts were right. I love that twist.
yeah. True.
It adds a lovely dimension. I think how it reveals itself in Cloverfield Lane is much better.
Yeah.
It's right at the very end as well, which there's some crazy amount of similarities when you really stop and think about it.
True, and it just came to my mind there, and I was trying to compare it with other movies, other basement dwelling movies, and
All those
kidnap
basement
movies.
movies.
Yeah,
Yeah. And throw one in there, War of the Worlds with Mr. Robbins and fella who jumps off buildings. You remember the basement scene in that? That's also conspiracy nuts trapped underground. Not nearly as good. Not bad.
Yeah. So they bring Michelle into their basement, as we have alluded to, and yeah, it just begins the entire sort of affair of Teddy trying to get a confession out of her to send a message to the Emperor.
Recorder, I want you to give the message, and we want to get on the ship, and then we're going to plead the case for our planet. Thanks very much. An interesting approach.
Yeah.
And it's okay. This bit here actually possibly the weakest part, maybe apart from the end. There's no tension yet.
No,
where there should be. I didn't feel any tension on this bit. Now, a couple of scenes later, there's some heavy tension. But right now, I don't feel like she is scared at all. She's trying to negotiate the situation. I don't see any fear in her eyes. I don't feel like he's being intimidating at all. I disagree with that choice.
Yeah, I know it's John Goodman. Yeah, think of John Goodman, and he can be really menacing in Cloverfield Lane. I just think the character, I think that maybe just the script in general has this Teddy character that isn't menacing enough. He's this conspiracy nut. He's weak. He's physically weak.
What's did she say? You're a loser. You're never going to win. You're a loser. I'm a winner.
Yeah. There's quite a lot of choking in this movie.
There is a lot of choking and some shovels.
Yes. Yeah, so it's interesting. There's sort of should be a psychological warfare going on, and there is to a sense, but it doesn't really come across as much as it should do. And then, to be honest with you, then the part of the plot that Teddy says to Dawn, don't talk to her ever. And so for the majority of the time, until she starts to sort of get into his head, Dawn doesn't really talk that much. And yeah, okay, I understand that direction that the plot is going in, but I'm trying to think, are we missing something there? Are we missing another dynamic that could have come into play when maybe he's trying to pretend to be, like we see a little bit at the end before he, spoiler alert, blows his head off. We see a lot of him trying to pretend. Yeah, he's pretending to be, demanding of her. I wouldn't have minded seeing a little progression of that, and maybe a little bit more power given to his character. But I understand the contrasts need to be there between Teddy and Dawn.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to think about how I would enjoy this movie more.
I know what you wanted more torture. That's your problem with the
movie. No, but I do like a psychological back and forth.
There was in the first movie, in the Save the Green Planet, there was a lot more torture.
Yes,
just fingernails and such.
Fingernails. Yeah. It's interesting when Teddy goes to his job, I get a lot more empathy for him as a character.
Because he's working for Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. Equivalent of allegedly.
Allegedly, sorry, yes.
But when he's talking to his colleague, he's quite empathetic towards her and try to be helpful to her, and you kind of see that side of him, which I maybe could be we could have seen a bit more of it, perhaps, so that we get a bit more
Sympathy
confused
towards his
with
character.
do we like him? John
Yeah,
Goodman in Cloverfield Lane, we
Very
kind of
likable.
feel a bit of
Yeah.
sympathy towards him before you find out that he killed
He's a
girl
psychopath
in
and he
the
kills
bunker.
people, yeah.
Yeah. And that's fine. We should be conflicted up
What I
until a
love,
certain
again,
point.
with your similarities, I love at the end, you find out that John Goodman's been killing people. And at the end of this, you find out that he's been killing people.
We never read any trivia about Cloverfield Lane's like inspiration. I don't think Save the Green Planet ever came up for that, for inspiration
I can't
for
remember
Cloverfield
anything.
Lane.
We didn't connect the dots
No.
that time either.
No, I forgot about Save the Green Planet.
But there are a crazy amount of dots that could be connected. I think it might just be coincidence. Because there's a different flavor.
Yeah.
Even though it's a very similar concept, it's very different in flavor.
Yeah.
Cloverfield Lane's much more realistic, much more psychologically what you would expect if this actually happened, whereas this feels a bit more like a surrealist piece of work, a bit more artistic.
We do have this very, very small plot line where the policeman has allegedly probably abused Teddy in the past.
He keeps
when he's
alluding to it
babysitting
over
him.
and over again. And I like how it's introduced in that respect, because he says, "I'm sorry about what happened," and then he drives off, and then he sees him again. "Oh, I'm sorry what happened. Yeah, I was young back then. I didn't know what I was doing." Oh, like it's part of your mind's like, is that what he means? We absolutely it is what it means. And
yeah,
I feel that when Teddy realizes he has to off him, he has zero problem with doing it for damn good reason. And I like the justification of him killing him. It doesn't feel a stretch at all. It feels almost like justice as he's caving his head in with a shovel.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good sort of small arc in the script.
It's unnecessary, but I think it was better off being left in. It helps the tension because the cop pulls up and it's like, oh my god, is he going to find Emma downstairs? No, the tension isn't great. If I'm honest,
Not at all.
They could have done a lot more with that. I think that could have made this movie a lot better. Extend this scene, have the cop suspicious, because he never is. In the original, the cop is not a cop. I think he's a detective, and he goes there specifically because he thinks something's up. Whereas this, he's just calling in because he's a creep.
Yeah, he wants to go back to where the magic happened.
Yeah, so it's very different feeling. So it's a bit more creepy. So I suppose when the detective dies in the first movie, you feel really sorry for the detective. Whereas in this, you're like, yeah, hit him again.
Yeah, it adds a little bit. Obviously, we're given that to just sort of try and maybe flesh out Teddy's backstory a little bit and why he's so freaked
Messed
out.
up. Yeah,
but yeah, the more I talk about it, the more I listen to you. When you think of the pinnacle of a police person coming to a criminal's house, like you think of Silence of the Lambs, and when she comes in, it's just so tense, and it never happens. It never happens in this. There's no when he comes into the house, she's downstairs with Dawn, and she goes, "There's somebody upstairs, isn't it? It's the police, isn't it?" So why not let there be a struggle? Let there be a muffled struggle.
because the only thing we get out of it is the shotgun going off and the cop turning around.
Yeah, they're outside of the bees. Do you want to see my bees?
I'm not complaining
The
about
dogs with the bees, and the bees are shut out their mouths.
Not complaining about that at all. I actually like that line. You want to see my bees? Because he wants to get him out, and
Yeah.
It's weird.
But like, I'm trying to think, okay, like if there's a struggle and then maybe she makes it up to the top step and just, does a little rap on the door or something, and he goes, "Oh, what's that?"
Oh, it's
just something.
the Amazon delivery man. Don't worry about it.
It's the plumbing. It's fine.
Yeah, there should be more of that. There should be a little bit more tension. I think there's a few pieces you could tweak in this movie, and it could make it a fantastic movie. It misses something. It misses a few things, I think.
Yeah, he relies on the dialogue and the strength of the actors portraying that dialogue, delivering that dialogue.
Don't get me wrong, they are fantastic.
Yeah.
A little bit more. A sprig of thyme on top of it, and a little bit of garlic in there, and it's a fantastic thing. It's got nearly everything it needs.
But when I think of the dialogue throughout the movie, I actually can't think of anything that stands out as fantastic dialogue. It's all good and stuff, but it just becomes a muddied mess for me, where Teddy's rambling constantly and she's going, "Well, yeah. Yeah, I'm an alien. I'm not an alien. I am an alien. Come with me." Like even that dinner scene. So that whole cop scene happens after the dinner scene. The dinner scene sort of happy, and then starts questioning things. And I know what happened to your mother because I'm wearing her dress right now. And so then that just kicks off, and he's trying to kill her or whatever. And it was just. I don't know. It just felt flat for me. It's supposed to be really tension filled. It's fine. It's a good scene.
If I'm honest, I think it's one of the only pieces of tension in it. I did like the camera work, specifically where he mounts the table to get at her. I like how it tracks with her. I like his violence in his eyes. The one time he's really scary. Most of the time, Teddy's not scary at all. That one piece, he's violently scary.
True. And he slaps her once down in the basement as well, and throws a chair past her or whatever, and they're little symbols or signs of aggression, but never really fearful.
Again, to harken back to Cloverfield Lane, Goodman had that boiling under the surface all the time. I think more of that would have been fantastic.
Again, there's a dinner scene in Cloverfield Lane
where the tension is nuts. Yeah, it's the same movie.
What the hell's going on? But you can just see John Goodman's eyes are just so manic and crazy,
burning into your boy's head, like I'm going to kill you, type thing. But he's polite. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and that's a perfect character development in that movie.
Yeah, but a little bit more of that. Cast John Goodman it. And I'll watch the
as
crap
the
out
CEO.
Of it. Yeah.
Or as Teddy.
Yeah.
So it sort of boils down to it when the cop is getting killed out in the bee field, getting stung millions of times and getting shoveled in the head. Don can't take it anymore. He's basically been coerced by Michelle that, yeah, you're not the bad guy here. Your brothers just fed you a load of shit.
I'll get you out of here. I'll get you on the ship. And you won't get in trouble with the cops. You get in the ship, you come with me. Okay, let's go now then.
Tell Teddy I love him or something.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, he overloaded.
And it's quite graphic.
And I felt really sorry for Don at this point because she'd cornered him with logic and put him in a horrible situation. So
yeah,
poor Don. Great. It was horrible, actually.
To be honest with you, he would have got unless she took him to the spaceship.
Yeah, he only had a few hours to live anyway.
Yeah. So the kind of final sort of semi-crazed reveal is he comes down and she goes straight into alien mode.
Yeah.
I'm an alien.
How many? No, she doesn't even say that. She goes, how many of them were Andromedans?
Because she finds this room full of body parts.
Yeah, so she drops the pretense of being human.
Like or does she?
Or does she? Because you're thinking to yourself, is this... Because when you get when we get past this scene, because this scene, there's bits of bodies and a head and graphs and documentation and the spaceship diagram up on the wall, and it's all a bit nuts.
Yeah.
Is it a psychopath that's just killed loads of people? Kind of looks that way. But then the next scene is her saying, well, how many Andromedans were there actually that you killed? Because I don't think they all were. Is that her being smart and playing into his psychosis, or is she an alien? And I like that the movie doesn't reveal it until the goddamn end.
Yeah. It's even really confusing as well near the end because, yeah, she takes him to her office and basically holds up a calculator and goes, I have to punch a code into this calculator. Get into that cupboard.
Yeah, get into the cupboard and you'll be teleported. That's the 58-digit code. It has to look mundane so nobody would notice.
Yeah. And Teddy's like going,
okay.
Also, I have a suicide vest. I have a suicide vest on, so
that's right. Yeah,
just in case.
And so, she's like, that's really smart. Well done, Ted.
So I'm guessing the Andromedans blow up explosives that go into their teleportation device.
Yeah, I've watched Star Trek. They diffuse weapons when you get teleported and that. So there you go.
Yeah. So I'm guessing the Andromedans just say, well, let's explode it.
Yeah. Or he made some really shit explosives and they just blew up on him.
Yeah, maybe. Although it just seems a little bit...
Yeah.
A little bit coincidental to explode the minute you press the button on the calculator.
A different code for bomb explode.
True. Could have been. Yeah, like a defensive mechanism. Yeah, could have been.
Who knows? It's if you're trying to make sense of this movie, good luck.
Yeah.
But I love it's a cupboard, and I love his head comes flying out the door and smacks her on the head and knocks her unconscious. It's nuts. Yeah. I love it. I love weird crap. That's fantastic. Let's have some of that.
Let's have more of it.
Yeah.
We didn't really get too much of it.
No.
Even though he's a lunatic conspiracy nut, we don't really get
it's a very normal weird
stuff,
movie, if you will.
Yeah. So she like hops up and just goes back into the cupboard and beams herself up, and this is when it kind of
she gets dragged away in an ambulance. She's unconscious. Hops out of the ambulance, runs back. Don't mind me, just I forgot something in here. Where's my calculator?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it at the end. Nobody would ever type that combination.
Turn it upside down.
Aliens invented that, you know.
Yeah.
How do you describe what happens next?
You get a wrap up of just bullshit going, they're not worth saving, let's kill them all.
The experiments have failed, blah, 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 blah. You know what happened to me when I was watching this? The subtitles for the aliens' dialogue popped up halfway through the movie. Did it happen to you?
It popped up when they're the only time they speak alien is when they're in the ship.
Oh, the version of the movie I had, the whatever happened with the effing subtitles, it popped up after an hour and 10, which is really annoying.
That's annoying. What happened to me was the version I had, the hard-coded subs were in there, and then I had other subtitles on top of that pop up when the aliens are speaking. So it was like a double 3D effect, and it was just weird. Yeah, maybe there's something up with the subtitle things.
Yeah, that kind of burst my bubble a little bit in that I kind of had a note, because I think it was during the dinner scene that it popped up. And I was like, I knew exactly what it was. And I was like, oh, Christ, do I take notes? I just try and read the text. It's different what they're saying. So that messed me up a little bit. That's a technical issue.
I kind of didn't really pay that much attention to the aliens speaking at the end. It's like,
it's irrelevant.
Okay, all right. That's what happened. Okay, let's burst the bubble in there. And then we get way too many scenes of people just dead and everybody
I did like that the dogs were still alive and the bees were still alive and the cats were still alive.
Well,
so I'm okay with that. That's good.
Yeah. Human beings are the problem. No other species.
Well, that's what she said. You know, too aggressive, too violent, can't be saved. Sorry, lads.
At the end of the day, she saved the green planet.
There you go. Hence the name of the original movie. Well, I think in the
exclamation point.
I think in that movie they blew up the planet altogether. So they didn't save the green planet.
No. I'm confused by this movie. I don't know why.
You feel like it should be better, is what I'm getting.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I feel the same way. I feel like there's some excellent components, but there's bits missing from what could be an excellent movie.
I think it gives enough to prompt questions. Okay, like it's who's the villain in the movie? You kind of have to think about that. Who do you feel sympathy for? Dawn.
I think everybody's the victim in this movie.
Everybody's a victim of something.
Yeah, and there's no.
Well, maybe not Emily Stone. She's just a commander, emperor.
Well, she does get 400 volts crammed through her toes or whatever it was.
Yeah, but then she kills the entire planet.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. What are you going to give for the plot storyline?
Oh God, I know I absolutely pooped on it in the South Korean version, and this is basically the same plot. Oh, but I enjoyed this much more than the Save the Green Planet movie, so I'm going to give it 2.5.
Yeah, I'm sort of. I kind of finished the movie and I didn't think about it again. So for that reason, I'm going to give 2.25. Acting, Jesse Plemons, very good. Emma Stone, very good. All the supporting actors, very good. Dawn is very good.
Dawn is fantastic.
Emma Stone's got this duplicity about her that she does very well. She's great. One of the best actors of our time, anyway.
I like her manic. When she does manic, it is super believable. And the brief scenes where her face just changes and she's something else. Yes, I'm all there. Yeah. I'm there for that all day. She's great in this. She elevates this movie massively in my head.
I think Jesse Plemons, when he first, maybe the first quarter of the movie, I'm going, yeah, Jesse Plemons is a very good actor. But then as the movie went on, I'm going, okay, same. But well done, but quite similar.
Yeah, I think if he had something more to chew on in this, it would have been better. He doesn't get much of an arc in my head.
No, it's sort of...
She does.
Straight down. Yeah, she does. Yeah. Maybe he needs to be wavered at some point. Maybe he needs to be his kind of conspiracy to be tested a little bit. Maybe the lady at work will say something or something to him during it.
Yeah. Question his beliefs in his conspiracy. That would be fantastic. But there is no point where he ever questions his belief. Dom's much more interesting in terms of an arc. Because he kind of believes, but he kind of doesn't. And then he's questioning his fate when she's getting in his ear. I think I think his arc is fantastic, and it's excellently written and it's excellently acted. So his character is much more interesting than Teddy.
I'll give it 3.
I'm going to go a bit heavier because I think Emma is fantastic. I'm going to give it 3.75. I really like her in this. Then every movie she's in, she's bloody good. So,
yeah. The soundtrack throughout is sort of quite dramatic for the movie that it is. Like a lot of things will happen and it'll just be pure orchestra, just. So I'm okay with that. It's kind of like psychologically weird. Yeah.
What I like with the sound, and it goes well hand in hand with the cinematography, so some of the scenes where she's like walking towards the camera, that's just looking up at her and it's blaring at you. I think that's very, very dramatic. It's beautifully shot. The sound just fills in the crevices that you need filled in.
Who misses?
I love the sound in this, actually. There isn't really a soundtrack per se, but the sound is delightful. I'm going to give it 4.
I'll give it 3.25. Direction, then.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
So he's got a He's got a way of making things uncomfortable and a little bit absurd, and he does okay, I guess, in it all.
I have a complaint.
Nothing crazy.
I think a lot of his, the direction of like the cinematography is beautiful. I don't think he should have stuck with the original movie's plot. I think he should have added to it. He had a choice. He should have done it. He could have added bits, taken bits out. And he does a little bit, tiny bit. There's no kung fu in this.
No.
Good. Yeah, I'm annoyed with him that he didn't modify it. It needed to be modified a little bit. So for that, I'm going to give him 3. But everything, it's hard to say that because the bits that he gets right, he nails. Absolutely nails.
I'm giving it 2.75. I think I'm trying to present why I'm not the crazy big fan of this movie, and maybe the last 40 minutes I did get across why.
You did.
It's not good in my brain.
It's disappointing. Yeah. That's my biggest issue with this movie, because I have high hopes for this chap. When I see his name, I'm like, yes, this could be really good. It didn't hit the mark like I thought it was going to. Not to say it's a terrible movie. This is not a terrible movie at all.
No.
But it's not what it could have been.
I'm going to read some bad reviews here just to sort of get a sense of what people are thinking. G. Allen Johnson in the San Francisco Chronicle gave it 25. It's not a cookie cutter superhero film or predictable horror film. That's the good news. The bad news is that it's form without enough content. Which probably is in one sentence what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Dana Stevens and Slate gave it 30. Like Ari Aster's Eddington earlier this year, Bugonia invites us inside the internet-poisoned imagination of a lonely male protagonist who has done his own research. And as with Eddington, the result is an allegory about contemporary life that's as nauseatingly gory as it's thuddingly obvious. Barry is the last bad one I'll read. Barry Hertz in the Globe and Mail Toronto said, and he gave it 33, he said, whereas Jang's original film was driven by a funky visual inventiveness that embraced wacky comedy over repellent and snide creepiness, Lanthimos' version merely doubles down on the filmmaker's most annoying tendencies, obvious observations about power dynamics, ostensibly outrageous acts of violence that underline a juvenile affinity for shock humor, and an overall contemptuous view of humanity that is played for easy, repetitive yucks.
I don't really agree with him. More with the other guy. Not enough content.
Robbie Collin in The Telegraph gave it 100. Stone and Plemons prove ideal co-conspirators with carefully balanced performances that have them taking turns as hero and villain without ever quite annihilating our sympathies or winning them outright. And that's where I'll leave it. For me, it was a movie that was entertaining, but I forgot about it instantly.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. And I wanted it to be more, which is the annoying part.
You didn't get it.
Probably not.
No. Well, it's good to jump into something recent now and again, just to see what's happening in the world of cinema. If you haven't liked or subscribed to us on all the platforms you listen to us on, please do so now, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Ta-da.